I'm really stressed today. I don't even know why, because like on every single metric, I should be in crazy good shape. I think I'm falling into the trap that I've fallen into in the past, where I kind of just care too much. I like the strategy too much. So even though things just look ridiculously stacked in my favor right now, right? I look at everything objectively, and I'm like, this is sick. I don't think he has any options here. It doesn't. I was stuck between two strategies basically, and it didn't matter what I was going to do. I was in really good shape. Like, should probably just automatically win. And for whatever reason, I still just felt really scared. But the fear, more than anything, was just like, what if he clears my defense? I don't know, man. I'm in a really weird headspace right now. It's, yeah, I don't know. I don't have a good... It's weird. I feel really stressed that there's, like, no good reason for it, because my teams have been overperforming so far this season, and I still feel really good about them. Yeah, what's up, everyone? You have a tough one, too? Like, this is the weird thing. Is... I don't think today I would qualify as being particularly challenging, beyond we are seeing Rey and Kylo on defense. And most of the decision-making that I had surrounding that really revolved around that fact. We have a Kylo with, you know, Daka zombie. We've countered that successfully with Jedi Knight Ribbon plus Jedi Knight Luke in the past. The important thing as well there being that Kylo goes twice before a zombie goes once, which means that zombie will get the advantage and then immediately lose it. So, like, even that part was favorable. But, for whatever reason, in my heart of hearts, I just told myself that the clear was sacred, and that ultimately did influence my final choice. So, we're a little bit lighter on defense. He's a little bit heavier, He's got 2 Galactic Legends, and then things get easier from there. So, we have our 2 main fights cut out for us. We'll get to the map in a second here. Yeah, I mean, I think since the last time we spoke, I'm already up another 25 plus mod. We are finally at the point now. The goal is in sight, where I can reach 25 plus, and very, very happy about this. We're gonna have more 25 plus than 20 plus at the exact same time. It's gonna be, no one's gonna care except for me, and you know what? I'm here for that. Yeah. That's just where my account's at right now. They're not even that good mods either. I've shown some. It's like a full everything tank, primaries and secondaries on a damage set type deal, but hey. 25 is a 25, and if you're not flexing in Hotbot, then what are you even doing anymore? Yeah. All in all, you know, we're ahead on relics, we're ahead on mods. You know, we're ahead on top 80 GP as well. We're kind of just ahead on most of the spots where it matters. This just became an interesting fight, really because of the map and my plan and how I knew it was going to relate to his plan and the way things were going to come down. Yeah, we're mixing things up in a really weird way today. Still have a good strategy. I'm going to be watching his attacks with great interest. In fact, I'm going to get a Primebot watch command up on him ASAP. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, right, like, all it really comes down to, above anything else here, is this crew. I don't know how he can possibly one-shot this squad in one game. And so we had basically 2 choices here. The one choice that I wanted to make is post double GL up top at ships, based on the assumption that he would post double GL, and I knew confidently that he would not be able to clear both of them. It just was not going to be an option for him on the table. But we have this team, which I have beaten, I think, twice with Ribbon Luke. Jedi Knight Ribbon and Jedi Knight Luke. but also has failed once. And the thing is, too, that failure, I'm pretty sure, is because I didn't push damage on Kylo fast enough. So, like, even from that loss, I had a takeaway of, like, I feel a little bit better about it. But it was going to land me in the position where, incredibly more than likely, we would not be able to clear him either. So I had a hunch that he might be guarding ships, which would also give me a banner advantage, by the way. If I went double GL up top and he went double GL down bottom, that's also a win for me. So if we assume, like, he's bleeding a loss on Darth Revan, and then I go double GL up in front of ships, that's like that should be, I don't know what the overall zone point difference is now that there's double ships versus back here. The Conqueror's worth more. Is this actually more? I had heard a while ago that it was, I just took it as grant. I mean, this is 144 plus 186. So this is like 344 max potential? Or 330, I think I meant to say. Sure seems like South is still worth more. Top is worth more than 5v5. Ah. So whichever choice I went with, I definitely wasn't going to second check that fact. So yeah, it definitely looks like South is definitely the place to defend in 3v3. So I'm kind of fine that the fact that I didn't go with that anyway. Actually, honestly, it might have screwed me a little bit to have made that mistake. Interesting. Alright. He went with what I kind of disagree with a split strategy, kind of just giving me, like, you know, let's say I posted 2 GL, let's say I could only theoretically kill 1 save. Honestly, there was almost even a call to just ignore the other Galactic Legend, keep Jedi Knight Revenant, keep Jedi Knight Luke, and just go for, like, super efficient teams. That was also a strategy that was potentially on the table. My simulcasting, I didn't think that was allowed. It's not if you are a Twitch partner, which I have, because most of my audience is still on YouTube. I just don't know if it's a good idea necessarily to go full on the Twitch train, so that's why we have donations via third-party program instead of, you know, Twitch Prime and all that good stuff. It is what it is. It's a trade-off. But again, most of my audience is YouTube-based, so I don't know if I feel like cutting them off from the live experience is really the best bet. But yeah. We got more progress on that front coming here shortly. The wheels are turning. So yeah, and then the Rey. It's just a Rey, Han, Chewie, which we beat a few times with Kylo now. We'll get to that. Anyway, just kind of wrapping up. Weird that caught. Yeah, just kind of wrapping up. I still feel good about the defense. I would not be surprised if we get cleared, though. Unfortunately. Twitch is a little behind YouTube. It doesn't surprise me. I'm pretty sure that they locked the super low latency feature to Twitch affiliates and partners only. And the audience and the culture is on Twitch, but YouTube has just pulled so far ahead in overall feature set. It's insane. I don't know if I'm feeling the ambient stuff today. I might. It's funny because half of the soundtrack is still not the faster stuff. I got copyright struck. Kind of the false one, but I am playing it a little bit safe here. I need more energy. I think we're safe. Alright. Yeah. I mean, that's the sad thing, is Twitch has kind of gotten complacent with a lot of their features, so... And then, like, the stuff that they are doing is affiliate locked. It's just... yeah. It's unfortunate. Yeah. I think moving on, and then we'll just hop on into things. We have double GL, and then, you know, double Fin Poe is a menacing team. We've got a counter that makes it completely trivial, so I'm not really too concerned about that. The big thing I'm a little bit bummed about is with all the other rebotting going on, I kind of I wouldn't say deprioritized, but just we've been on such a different strategy this whole season so far, and the end of last season, that I didn't bring all of the bulk with Mon Mothma and Hermit Yoda that they may need. So I do think I'm going to be running the Mothma SLK counter today. I don't know. I forgot about this album. I forgot how much I hate every single song in it. Anyway. I just need to make an EDM playlist that just pulls that entire album out. Every single song I've heard on that album is a complete miss. Unlucky. Yeah, we're gonna be doing the Hermit Yoda, Kylo, Mon Mothma weirdness, but that should... I think we can maybe keep one alive. We'll see. But yeah. Chewie, you know, can be evaded, so I don't think they have any real way to expose Hermit Yoda here. I think it should be fine. And then, kind of some weirdness. I haven't really done Rey on offense in a while. One thing we probably just need to be sure of is, we need to let Zombie get rid of advantage on himself naturally by hitting us. 242 speed, so it'll come fairly quickly. And, you know, like, I think we're just going to go Rey with some heal support. So we can cast heal twice. Make sure that we're in good shape. But then Roland, Baka, hopefully shortly after, we lose the advantage. Does it Chewie dispel? Yes, but Hermit Yoda can't be revealed, or can't be hit when he's in stealth. Right. So, should not be a fair game. Hermit Yoda should be able to just stay perfectly hidden. Traditionally, we're supposed to go south first. I don't... Let's see. We've got Holdo in pretty alright shape here. I don't actually know if I want to bring his support staff. Our Jedi are pretty much locked in place. I'm gonna show up still. You're correct. Let's just, I think I've said enough. Sorry, unfortunately my screen isn't wide enough that I can fully see gameplay feed and OBS, so I have the chat in place. We got an SLK stun, so Holdo's probably just gonna be out of commission for a while. I almost kind of just want to do this. It's gonna break up our Fin bow in a way that isn't gonna feel great. We're basically just killing a team. Make the Rey feel easier to drive. And also, Finn just might get stunned, which also isn't going to feel super great. I don't know. This is the one thing I'm iffy on. We don't have Barris. Barris would have been my auto. Hermit Yoda, I don't really want to spend here. I guess, though, if we're on offense, we don't... Like, this would have been the threesome I would have gone with for defense. Oh wait, no, we're using Hermit Yoda North. That's why we held him. I don't know, there isn't a, like, natural fit that I would take here. Hold L3. Maybe just like a tank. Who's going first? We could just go with like a Zalbar. That's not really like a great feeling choice. And also he's probably going first. 554 versus... Yeah. I almost wouldn't mind GBA, but GBA is definitely going to die AoE damage on the sooner side of things. Alright, you know what? If I am going to hold Thrawn and Vader for rear in case, you know, he tries to do like a sneaky DR or something. So I think we go Holdo. I think you just go L3. I don't know that there's too much else to really think about here. We got some heal support on Rey with Holdo. Not as much as maybe I'd like, but I think this probably has to be about the best it's going to feel here. I'm telling you, I can always tell the moment that it switches to that album because it always just immediately declines for me. Put a low gear tank to get this whirlwind on Daka. Oh, that was my hope with Zalbar, but I don't know how low. Also, Zombie's gonna be pre-taunting at the start. That's the other big issue I haven't really talked about yet. I'm simultaneously overthinking this, so I apologize for not getting in yet, but we do. I think it would be really, really easy to underestimate this team and just get stuck in a situation where we can't actually deliver the world. Daka is the biggest concern here. R2 might end up being kind of sick here. We're kind of cannibalizing JTR then, though. Like, we need damage, but like a Poe Dispel plus buff immunity wouldn't actually help either. It would after the advantage goes down. This feels so weird suddenly. Like, we need to be able to kill... We need to be able to kill Zombie manually. It's a gear 12, so it doesn't need that much damage, but I don't think L3 is good enough. There's no way to get advantage after that. So Kylo will go twice before Zombie goes one. So Kylo will AoE. That will cleanse Zombie importantly, so we can't go anything like a Poe for a preemptive Dispel here. Or preemptive buff immunity. Well, the buff immunity is inspired gated anyway. We need Zombie to hit us before dying. And then we need to kill it. And then we need to Rey Whirlwind Daka is the process that I'm thinking through right now. I'm gonna find the answer. It needs to be someone who can deal enough damage. He's not really well modded. They need to be able to deal enough damage to help with killing Zombie, but they also need to be resilient enough that they aren't just going to get trucked by Kylo in the opener. This is a really weird puzzle to be in. Like, I don't think this really helps either. I think we just need to get out of faction sex for a second and just look at the big picture. Nah, this is adorable, but yeah, not really adding much here. Armadillo is tragically off limits. We don't actually have to do Mon Mothma Hermodiota against Rey, I guess. I would really prefer it to, though. It's not really adding anything here. Maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe we just try to go the Finn route. He's almost definitely going to get stunned at the start, right? But once Rey takes a second turn, he should get inspired. He'll take damage, we'll give him lifelet, so he'll get more protection than Holdo. Holdo actually might still just have more health than he does. Like, if Rey can give him inspired, then he would start getting the passive turn meter for the second turn of the stun to get out of that sooner. Is this simpler than I'm giving this credit for? Is this just this? It actually might just be this. I don't think I hate this. Weapon tech on Rey will help her kill Zombie a little bit more naturally and potentially try to get in before taunts. This is gonna be weird. I think this is gonna be very, very weird. But This kind of satisfies the conditions. It kind of doesn't, but it kind of does. And what with Rey can be okay. The one thing I'm concerned about is we can reach a point where it's impossible to get back to Morrowinds. But I think once we get to late game, we're mostly just leaning on Rey ult anyway. This is a really weird thing. I hope this isn't the wrong choice. I think we go weapon tech on Rey. I don't think it's regen tech. Okay, we need to look at their speeds here. Kylo should be going before either of them, so we can give a weapon tech now. We can give her weapon tech now. We can't really basic zombie yet. I don't think zombie would die anyway, but I still would prefer not to. She has crit immunity, so we have to wait for a while. Strange. Okay, we don't mind whittling. Okay, the crit immunity is gone, so it's not gonna be his next turn is fair game. He still has advantage, we only did about 50%, so I think this is safe. Kylo's getting to ultimate. Okay, there we go. So this is gone. We take this. SLK is gonna ult for one turn. I don't think it's that bad. I think we chill. Get it down to one last standing. I think we need to do some more protection damage off of him. She might take a... here she does. Alright. Pretty bad on banners. I don't know. Yeah, the fact that I really didn't... I missed the ball on predicting the crit immunity advantage interaction. It ended up stalling that a lot longer than I was hoping for. That's rough. I wonder if it almost would have been better to just mirror GL then. That... or... we go Rey double resistance hero, which like if Finn gets stunned, then that still feels really bad, right? If we got that zombie pre-taunt, it wasn't even just the pre-taunt though. I mean, it kind of was, right? Because it stops us from whirlwinding. Maybe it's possible that we could have drafted a dispel and just looked. Why are we in ships? Right? Like, let's see. Okay, this is actually a good question. Right? So he has a dispel, just out of line, right? Nope, he doesn't. All inspired engagement. Good stuff, sir. Useful character. Alright, you. You're lovely. So... we draft a pre-taunt because we don't want to risk JTR getting stunned. JTR is definitely going to go before Rey's second turn so she can dispel... zombie. And then from there, we should be able to have a whirlwind open. I think that actually satisfies enough conditions. That would have been possible. It's actually crazy to me how often sometimes I wish Rey didn't give out crit immunity. Bruce has a dispel, I think. If she does, it's probably not active. It's definitely... no, I don't think she does. I think you're wrong. Because this is just like team-wide... yeah, this is just like team gain and team removal for enemy. Tenacity, this should be stunned into days when it expires, and Terminator game when people get crit. What a weird thing. There's no way that we could have forced crit immunity off of her, right? I guess the one thing, actually, the one downside of being slower in this matchup is if we were faster, then his poke would have gotten rid of the community, and that would have been so smooth. We would have been... Yeah, Kylo wouldn't have reached him. Well, maybe we drag her up a little bit from the 400s and get her a little more competitive, a little bit speedier, perhaps. Worth thinking about. Alright, in this case, yeah, I'm not really going to think too much about this. Probably don't attack top, but this is just like, we need to know how this plays out to know, to inform everything else. Yeah, again, not on the full, like, all set protection primary stack this time, so I don't know if they survive rails. But that's just like a side bonus, right? It isn't the objective of them being here. Them being here just guarantees that SLK doesn't die to rails. But, you know, keeping people alive for banners is a pretty nice bonus. Okay. Hello. I always get a little bit tossed up on, do I want to aim for the stun, for the double scaling, or do we just want to start draining mastery on? Actually a little bit more hurt on Kylo than usual. You're a little bit too squishy. This doesn't do anything. Pretty sure. We still have really good health on Kylo. I don't think this is really dangerous. Those in supports restore 50% health and protection to all allies. She does. Look at this. Pure synergy. Alright. If, for whatever reason, I mean, if she whirlwinds again, then both of them are about to die anyway, but... Whoa. Oh, it's a lightsaber. Weird. Alright! They're not even modded for it. 49 banners still not that great, but compared to people dying. Huh. You know, I actually missed that. Mon Mothma is just so written for Rebels that I really didn't expect that she would have any relevant button here beyond just being a body that can't be targeted. Not bad. 50% health and protection, we take that. And yeah, legitimately, that was the difference on both of them staying alive. Yeah, I think that feels okay. That's not bad. Why is Mon Mothma there? Good question, because it's going to look really, really bad from a glance. So, usual dynamic of Kylo against Rey, at least when people were having issues with it before. You can health mod stack Kylo, that was one route, but I wanted to be able to keep him... I didn't want to compromise his modding for if he goes on defense, which he's actually been doing a lot this season, so I think that's a fair motivation. By the way, I did pick him up, relegate. He wasn't relocated in that fight, so, you know. But basically, the dynamic that keeps on happening for Kylo matchups is you get your side people whirlwinded, and then the ultimate is too much damage for Kylo to take. Right? There are ways to work around that, but a solution that I had, right? Or have. We just did it. Is we tuck in Hermit Yoda, who starts up in stealth and can't be hit or has 100% evasion while he's in stealth. So, you know, even if Chewie was crazy fast there, let's say, and got the AoE off, he's not revealing Hermit Yoda. Hermit Yoda is still just chilling, right? And then we have Lady Mothma over here. Can't be targeted and is immune to taunt effects. So she also cannot be targeted. What that means is that we guarantee that Rey can only ever Whirlwind's Kylo. Which is important because that means that when we get to Rey Ultimate, and you know, you saw we had mostly the good button here is Hermit Yoda's Equalize. Right? Strength flows to the Force. Doesn't care about your faction. He's kind of just down to help everyone regardless. 20% health and protection back on top of a pretty solid Equalize, and Kylo tends to have a lot to Equalize with. So the whole point being, this is a setup that guarantees that when Rey ult comes around, we're going to have 3 bodies still, right? Technically speaking, if you really want to lean into this, you want to be on at least 1 health set protection primary. Well, I don't know where like Hermit Yoda's base. You might want to be on health set more. I just kind of chucked on health set protection primaries as principle, because you're just slapping on as much health and protection combined as possible, so that you take the Rey Whirlwind damage, you can't avoid that. Then you take the Rey ult damage, you can't avoid that. And the rest of it is you chilling. I mean, it's my mic. Actually, I don't know why the levels are so low on it today. That is weird. Maybe I just need to be up on it more aggressive. I don't think so. There is just low. Testing 1, 2. Okay, these knobs just don't do anything. Weird. Alright. I don't know how bad it might have sounded before. That or OBS is just messing with my settings. I have no idea at this point. It could be. Alright, we're peaking. Alright, we're fine. ASMR, it's some. 57, 67, or 56, 51. That should still be protection primaries, right? So at the very least, you would want to be 1 health set, and then ideally protection primaries along here. If you really wanted to go hardcore, or like, I don't know. I don't think that Rey was offense. Find out real quick. Survey says probably not. But right, like, if you want to be prepared for like a hardcore offense Rey, and want to keep people left standing, then yeah, you can go like super heavy health and protection stack. You're just looking for raw bulk, right? That's pretty much it. So let's see here. 299 is not a bad base. Not bad at all. We're on a bit of a different plan than usual. So our offense toy is a little bit weird as well. Past this point, he has a Grievous we're expecting on defense, but it's Relic 4. He does not traditionally post Revan, so I still think we need to hold as if he is, as if he has it. But I think from here we should be fairly safe. We want to hold Han just in case. If he's on like triple GL or something. If he's on triple GL, then he straight up cannot win. But we need to be able to hold options. I want to say Hux AI's first turn when he's lead is to do the Mass Assist, right? Which is gonna hurt pretty decently. He's not on the best modding though, right? I don't know. I think we might just have to, if we don't want to get real bad with the efficiency here, I think we're probably just going to have to handshake some sort of gamble. I don't know if Nest could actually possibly have a way in there, but Domination, or Dominance, or whatever you want to call it, blocking her counterattacks is a little bit too big for me. It cuts off too much of her lifesteal. You're hyped for the Relic Django wiping the floor with CT2. Bounty Hunter was the team. I got my Bounty Hunter and my Imp Troopers at the same time. And I was more excited about my Bounty Hunter, so I went into Assault Battle 3 with them. I know that, like, there's, like, you want a counterattack lead with Mandalorian, giving your team Terminator, some of those types of techniques. It didn't quite work out. I didn't give them a remod, but Imp Troopers just feel a lot more natural to me there, even though my Imp Troopers suck compared to my Bounty Hunters for the most part. I don't know that we have like a good even trade. Everything feels a little bit over or a little bit under. Actually, let's break this down. I think if we assume what's in back, we could just... Oh, Nest wants to be here. Am I just gonna JKR this? We're using Han Chui up top, most likely. I wish I remember. This is kind of where Finn Popo is supposed to come in. They don't really have Terminator mechanics to worry about. I don't know how much incoming damage to expect here at the start, and if they do something like immediately wipe Poe, then it's not going to feel great. We have 60% defense, so that should be harder, but his stats still aren't like crazy high, right? I don't expect him to be that fast. It's mostly just a question of you. Alright, I don't know what their opener is going to be. I assume it's going to be Mass Assist, and I assume it's going to hurt, but I think this is the option that will keep us least possibly screwed for rear. You do it. Alright, that counterattack actually worked out for us because it caused him to dispel himself. Much as I would love to kill Hux, I'm pretty sure we gotta be taking care of you first. Okay. Is there a way that we can get an extra expose out of this? He might have the special backup. He's probably about to die though. Technically yes, but on the death hit. 51. That was weird. I was worried a lot about the counterattacks potentially eating someone. We kind of got through it. We got through it while holding everything that I think matters if they're trying to do something sneaky. Like if he held one... Like, if he posted a third GL in rear, then he could technically, like, try to turn this into an efficiency war. And so dropping a battle there would have been pretty bad. This is fine. Will probably be another 51, possibly, you know, 52 if we can get a good Illuminated Destiny off and keep people healthy, but OG Kylo just loves his wiggles a little bit too much for the most part. It's unhealthy. little bit of extra exposure for us there. Always a solid payment. And we pick up that stun. That was extremely good RNG for us. Alright, his speed is pretty crazy right now. We can get a triple force set off, technically. Kylo actually might just outspeed, though. Okay, we need the heal immunity over here. We're doing okay banner-wise right now. Don't think it's healthy to expect it. God, I kind of just want to go for basic. We need to keep Illuminated Destiny rolling. Please? Yeah. Alright, he's cooperating. We're gonna overkill the cooldown just for the sake of our banners. Alright. So I think we're walking out of here with the 53. I think we're perfectly okay with that. Move his Terminator just so we can get a bit of an extra heal block duration on him there. It's possible that without heal block we could have just tried to stall him for a while. We might have been able to get a second Illuminated Destiny off, though. I don't think 20% protection would be enough to get us there. Right? If it looked like a 75%-ish, then maybe. I don't think we're too worried about that. You know what? We kept 2 full protection. Got a little bit of favorable RNG with the Wiggle Kylo there. We'll take it. I mean, it's a minute 30 per Illuminated Destiny. Yeah. 3v3 is just rough. Pretty much as expected here. Would have kind of liked to have had JTR for this fight. I don't think it really matters though. Did I delete my 3v3 Darth Revan counter guide video? Delete, no. But I made it unlisted because even though, like, I tried changing the title and like putting in the description like some of the updated stuff that's gonna be in the new guide, I still got comments of people saying like, this didn't work for me still. So I just said like, all right, we're unlisting it. I'm working on a new version of it, but it's way more in depth and it's going to take a bit more time to make. I'm aiming to actually have a damage calculator because if you're fighting something like a Relic 7 Darth Revan, there have been some like really close damage margins. The problem with the calculator is I don't know how the math for Cole exactly lines up. It's weird. Like, the do's and don'ts are like, if Malak is faster than Revan, no, stop. Malak is faster than Bastila, there's some risk. Seek another option if you can, but it's there if it's a desperate call. And if your Vader is on, say, crit chance triangle instead of crit damage with a crit damage set, and it's a really, healthy Darth Revan, there's also some risk that you might not hit the call. One of the biggest issues that I've been having is because Vader ended up being my first Relic level 8. This is like one of the things that irks me the most sometimes, is wishing that we could like at least like not like a sandbox, right? But just like a way. So like if people say like how hey, Luke event, right? Like, or Luke had like a gear requirements, right? Like maybe Malak or something, right? It's like, how do I beat this event with, gear 12 characters? And like, if I just happen to have like geared that team in the past because they were good in PvP or whatever, I can't really like give you a good answer except for just hunting for solutions from other people who had weaker teams. So like, I'm in this weird position now where I can't actually do good testing on Vader damage because he's Relic 8. And like, I guess on the one hand, this is like maybe technically a benefit of Relic 8 Vader, is I can kind of just kill any Darth Revan for the most part, I would say, based on the map that we saw. Maybe like a Relic 8 Darth Revan with 3 health primary would make me sweat. What about Darth Revan Marauder Sith Trooper? At that point, you could probably just kill that with something easier, right? Like, wouldn't bounty hunters eat that if you had that as an option? Padme would eat that, probably for more of like a 51, but this team is offering you like a 52, sometimes a 53 if you can get it. But yeah, if there's no Bastille and there's no Malik, then you're kind of, that team becomes way less threatening suddenly, right? All right, we got some automatic matchups now. Pretty much 3 that I can see, and then a few choices to make after that. Do we want to handshake another 51? We built a lot of banners today. JKR has a really hard time getting back to full protection in 3v3 though, so we're probably just going. Yeah. He's gonna get enough Terminator to lose it though. But for that moment, felt sick. Kind of wish I went with the mass assist first here. We did that last time. He ended like, I think B2 even actually ended up getting healed last time. I don't know. It being a Relic 4 Grievous means that we're not going to take that much damage for a while though. Right? Like, look at this. I don't know that we've even had a Night Sister die once. It's the type of matchup we're in right now. I guess we could try healing now. Or she dies. Well, it doesn't actually matter though. If we get this Plague Stun, we don't. Alright, we need to cool our jets for a bit, because if we blow cooldowns too early, then we're actually not gonna get full health out of this. Alright. You go. We don't use this yet. He's gonna lifesteal one, so we can't really do much about that. Capacity down would be nice here. Plague Stun. Oh. Plague Stun. Yes. Okay. Alright, we get the 51. Yeah, I'll post the link on my Discord just so that, like, I want to be sure, right? Like, if it's still gonna be publicly available for a while, it wasn't even like after the title, right? I put it before of like under reconstruction, see description. But like, I feel like I should like try to restrict this access for now, just to make sure that like, if you're in the Discord, you're probably willing to talk to me and like get some extra context, so I can make sure that you're not gonna have a bad time. But at the same time, like, if people, like, as long as you understand that you don't just unga bunga use it every single time, like, there's some conditions to work around, like, I have no problem with people seeing the video. It's just like, I don't want people to make the wrong choice because of that video being available and them just missing the extra context. So whatever, I'll put in an announcement later tonight. I mean, I guess if you really wanted, you could hunt down the link, but I guess just for convenience. Okay. We chose the right team, right? We did speed up Finn a little bit from last time, so happy to be on that. Why are we in Resistance instead of Rebels? I don't have a good answer. Yeah. You already know what this is by now. I was talking about Finn speed, because I was thinking about Finn because we were fighting Finn. And we're using Wedge. Does High Tenacity Malik screw up your Vader counter? No. If it did, I wouldn't really have bothered advertising it. Massage lead spirit officer. Spirit faster than infinity. He was dead before he got a turn. Officer is just... It's funny because on that Reddit account when I first made it, I put the first order officer tag, and the caption that I had next to it is definitely not Thrawn. I did that because I really liked Officer as a character. I still kind of do, by the way. Like, if we're just talking toolset, right? Like, how many characters in this game do we have that can cycle the entire team's cooldown? Like, JTR leadership, kinda. But, like, that's not an active, right? It's like Finn lead if you hit an expose and then someone else does it. Like, this is an insane tool. And so, but I think that over time people thought that I was implying that I was Thrawn, which I guess kind of fits the brands. Kind of sounds a little bit cocky or whatever. Yeah, dude, first star officer is like fantastic there. I say it's a good call. It's a kind of a shame that the offense up is first order only though. God, like giving offense up to Spirit plus advantage on top of that would just be ridiculous. Yeah, it sounds pretty clean. Good stuff. Alright. Time for the boring fight, I think. We already know what this is. But this is always going to be. Just two friends having a good time. I was gonna scout auto basic on Wedge for our bigs for a while. Let them talk it out. Make some buff soup for us. You can kind of see as well, right? So imagine, like you saw, we got chunked about 70% health here. So like, you add defense down into the mix. And then you add this fight scaling a little bit deeper into the game. That's why I'm a little bit concerned that I still feel like a good Wedge with like some good potency could potentially stop this. I don't know what Wedge's base potency is though. Like maybe it's not even worth discussing. You just isn't gonna be able to reliably hit like an amount of potency that matters. But, I mean, you can kind of see what I'm saying, right? Of like a relic 5 to relic 7 Wedge hits the defense down. You hit the 3-star, the Rebel Commander, summon. Eventually in this fight, right? Wedge gives that extra crit damage on top of that. I think that there's a little bit of a reason to be scared here. Stuff Icy. It's just a couple people being pals. Can't Nest and Biggs have a fun time? We've seen that mustache. Alright. You don't have a fully leveled... Wait. This should mean he gets full crit damage, right? Weird. It isn't a max level crit damage, but because he has 4 other full ones, then I guess it just means he has less crit chance, and that's kind of it. Kind of jumping all over the place here. You have a lot left, though, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it. We do or we don't? We have, like, some extreme power, and then a team that's kind of just some stuff. I suppose if we JKR this, and probably Vader this. We spent what? Which is a little bit uncomfortable. And the foresight means that Vader can't really solo this as comfortably. I guess unless we Coal Spirit, but that's not really the Coal target we're looking for here, right? Yeah, I think we're starting with this. We hit the stun. How very thoughtful. I kind of wanted to try to save the foresight for the shrapnel missile. We probably just want to get the task for the burn. Of course. Alright, pair attacks as we must. Ooh, I mean, if Nute increases our cooldowns, it sucks. I think we're supposed to basic over here. We can get back to battle meditation again. Yeah, okay. Now you can increase our cooldown. Aims for Jolie? Sure. The one character you didn't really have a good shot at doing it for. Why not? Help yourself. Alright. You kind of voted in there. In terms of team split, is this like a situation? I still haven't tried M-Troopers in 3v3. Hoggle, I guess, does have some evasion RNG that gets stuck as well. Reach other ally with Hive Mind. That's nobody, right? He has some evasion as well. They don't have the stealth because Grievous isn't present. I misclicked that for a second. I thought I clicked the circle and saw an offense primary, and was like, "What insane hacker did I just find here?" This is not a bad triangle. I read that it's 7% crit chance, but honestly, still not a bad triangle. Not bad for Jordica anyway. Pretty focused. I don't know. Can I trust M-Troopers with this? I mean, Piet only dispels light side out. Or, yeah, light side in, correct. Like, we could hit him with the suborbital for the days? Ideal? Target lock's nerdy. Burn to what? I don't know what. Just that earlier. This feels like playing with fire a little bit more than I would like. Oh, there's a guildmate? Nice. What's up, Don? We took some bleed. But I guess we'll also see how they do on offense. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I mean, let's break this down. We have 3 squads left. I don't think we have a lot of wiggle room. I don't really want today to be a science day. It's a damage Piet. Not the best modding. I wouldn't be surprised if they could take this, but I don't really want to find out and have Jordica get into damage immunity, and then we can't kill him. Oh, that's not even true, though. Right? Stark AoE would dispel him. Am I talking myself into this? Okay, team count. Vader, present. Crew, present. Palpatine, present. That's probably 3, but I think just for icing on the cake, if we so desire, we have this option. I don't think we need to do that. We definitely don't have to. Crew halt is actually kind of an adorable tool against this team. We could just halt one, and halt being 2-turn means that the bonus turn, or the 100% turn meter and the bonus turn would both get eaten as long as we killed them on that first turn. That's kind of fun. Vader. Problem is, I know that Spirit can cause some issues here if we aren't closing this fight out immediately. It is, you know, a Saj lead, so it's not a Plague Stun, but not really something I want to be taking. To be easy and superfood. I agree, I just don't want to find out this time. I need to make this leap at some point, right? Oh, it could be fast. I don't think he's fast enough for my crew. I don't think he's not fast enough for my officer, if nothing else. It's fine. Beskar Mando, I think, sits the bench. Okay, 274 Thrawn. 281 Spirit. I feel like Jedi should be able to handle this game just fine. I don't know if a 2-man is a safe call here. I mean, it's Relic 5 cam. His modding is okay. He's seen better days. Mace, I don't think there's any reason realistically to bring him here. Ooh, we have GBA left. That's actually gonna help. And Troopers on the NS. God, yeah, that is true. Yeah, that's probably gonna be the call. Okay, Basla, favorable matchup into Magna Guard. Still has some good potency on her. Not an amazing amount, we just need to make sure that he has tenacity or not. She could have some bad RNG that causes her to not be able to control him for a bit. We do have some wiggle room. I think we just go fishing here. And can we trust, or something like that. Okay. His modding is not great, by the way. Okay, this dude just needs to relax right now. I'm feeling uncomfortable here. I'm feeling... Am I going to jail? Huh. I mean, he was gear 12, right? But, like... He really didn't have any mods worth noting on. Huh. That character's pretty alright sometimes. Just completely dunked on. Might be related. Kick punch. Alright. I'm capped. No! Maybe where I belong. Alright. Well, that helped. Let's wrap up. Are we actually M-troopering this? We should. It should be fine. It is a Saj lead, so I guess it could get awkward. I haven't actually messed around with Stark fastest yet that much. 327 into damage Piet. Again, not on necessarily the best aside from this arrow being dope. It has to be fun, right? I can't imagine it not being. Maybe if Veer's AoE chips off their health and they win a TM tie, and like a Saj rips off buffs, and then suddenly we're like a thing that could happen. I think we just kill Towson first, right? Kill Towson first. The Veer's AoE will take the force out of Spirit along the way, but won't necessarily get Spirit damage. It's just really worth risking this way, though. I don't think it is. It's that album again. Get me out. So I think we just need to pass the crew and immediately halt on Vedhan. And once we do that, I think the rest should be pretty easy. Should almost be audible, to be honest. I know. It's just like, it's not about imp troopers. It's about 3v3 imp troopers. I just feel that uncertainty. We have a relegated Vader. If we go the imp trooper route, we would be leaving that in the dust. Like, do we really want to take it that route? I don't think I do necessarily. Hello. It actually looks like a Fox crit would put us ahead here, so we probably real quick here. No? Where did I go wrong here? Please don't kill. Thank you. If he killed, I don't think we lose, but I think things start to get real weird real quick. I think we just go for the TMR here. We just want to make that last. Why did he get a bonus turn? Did he pass 100% meter? I missed it once. I thought that we had him in good halted shape. I mean, our protection's okay, right? I think we can still preserve things. But I thought that the theory crafting was found. I don't really understand the sequence of events happening. 52 is fine. But why? Why? And then why did he cycle his AoE cooldown a second time despite not taking the bonus turn? There was some really weird stuff that happened right now. Right, so like, this is the same reason, like, I figured halt should be a perfectly fine stand-in for like JTR mind tricks. So we halted him. It's 2-turn duration. He gets 100% turn meter, one more turn. He takes a bonus turn. It's over. Instead, took a turn immediately, had the AoE, and then his cooldowns reset again somehow. It says, like, he takes an additional turn after his next bonus turn. Yes. That was really bizarre. Like, he got the cooldown reset, but it was delayed. He's gonna went back to before he killed Chewie. So fair enough if he took one turn, but then why didn't he just double turn immediately? That's what's throwing me off here. I don't know why you got a second crossbow, but had to wait to do it. Yeah, that part I'm fine with. Yeah, what's up, Tyler? We're walking out of here with some easy as you'd like it overkill, I'd say. I don't know if I fully trust Vader solo. We probably need to pick up some banners back from that last one. Oh, I think I just like, yeah, I think you might be right. I think I just like autopilot killed Poe. It's because I saw low HP character. Yeah. EP for stuns. I'm trying to keep this to one and done. I'm trying to just go for like max damage right now. Also, just in a situation like this, I don't really trust. I don't think you trust the two like EP stun. 70% and then 85% is odds of failure that I wouldn't really want to lean on. So I think we choke on Asajj first. I don't know our Vader's like true potential yet. I don't know if this actually kills. No questions asked. Yeah, Vertigo. If it, like, yeah, especially if I killed Poe. If I kill Poe, then there's no question. It's just like I did a dumb. It just looked really, really weird, right? Because it was like, okay, you took the bonus turn, whatever. You explained that, and then you waited and then crossbowed again, and that threw all of my expectations off of just like it looked really, really janky. All right, we did fairly nice turn order for Negotiator versus last time, where we gave Houndstooth turn meter and then got the Anakin buff immunity on it immediately. Probably just gonna want to repeat of that. Don't remember the exact details on it exactly, but I'm pretty sure all it really means is that we shot someone other than Houndstooth, because this is 20% turn meter to it. Back something other than it, it's probably at 25%, 30%, 25%. But we just need to make sure that it goes first. This is probably fine. I still think this wreck ship, I would almost just feel better with something like this. Like a hard hitter in case we need it. Especially because it doesn't really have evasion concerns. Kind of just bring it in and wreck things. Why not? Because of the days, I don't think we want to speed up the other one. Even though Poe hurts, I do think we'll speed up Poe. Let me go over here one more time. Goes, then we AoE, then we get that lovely buff immunity, then we AoE, then we had 3 target locks, easiest special in my life. We'd actually kill this time. Might be a higher relic Bosk. That cleansed it. Annoying. It's annoying, but like, he has a little bit of protection as well. I don't know if 5's basic actually kills. It does. Yeah, I'll get your question in 1 second. Make sure I walk out of this fight alive. bursts. You can have them. Kinda wish I went basic there after all. Alright, so his buff immunity is down, so House Tooth is pretty much. Alright, well, this is a pain. This is gonna hurt. I'm gonna hit the special just because we really need this massive. I'm down swing. Damn, we didn't even really hit much there. We have the offense down, which is nice. I'm not too thrilled about to happen. Okay, never mind. I'm very, very thrilled. Not bad. Blow died. That's pretty much as expected for a Gear 9. He did his part of the job. Yeah, we'll run this back again. We're not, well, I still think we don't do Sunfac stun. It led to a cutesy thing. We got an extra protection banner back last time, but I don't really feel comfortable creating Rebel. I think we play it safe. Go for lethality. Right, I think this is such a huge. They go for the free ship, I'll take it. We get a spy here. We're not gonna miss a single shot, actually. I'm not even gonna look right now. Fight's over. Okay. Ooh. I still feel like whether Falcon Lizard dies comes entirely down to whether it evades spy special or not. That's such a huge portion of the damage output of that move. Even though it's a mass assist that's hitting twice, right? That thing chunks. And that my spy isn't even like Relic 7 or anything. Alright. I'm probably the only one who finished the attack so far. We're definitely... I mean, I ignored some of the early feats anyway. I do not expect this to be a leaderboard season. Fleet Master? Yeah, absolutely. Look, we're just getting happy landing after happy landing. Don't even worry about it. They're easy. I don't even know what people are talking about. I am actually getting to the point where... I'm farming some ships. Rex ship is actually going to be the biggest pain, I think. Yeah, it's just not showing up at all. So we're like 5.5 star. I think I can probably just transition to Y-Wing 5s plus ETA for a while, though. Should be perfectly fine. And we're just going to the shopping spree. Everything we need is showing up. I know it's going to look really questionable, but I'm almost at the spot where I need to be doing that right now. Sith Eternal Emperor is like barely within reach, and I'm tempted to just go for it. Make a sprint for it and then try to recover before whatever's coming next happens. Which I could very easily end up regretting. But we'll see. I made the mistake actually with the SWGH events tool where I didn't realize I misread it. There's a checkbox that says hide completed gear. And so to me, that meant like, oh, don't include this in the totals. So I left it off this entire time. Last night, I was just like messing around and I happened to notice that like, no, I have like 120 more eyeballs. I have, you know. Why did I go here just to realize that I'm just gonna... Yeah. I was like, no, this should be like 120 higher. So I hit the checkbox, and suddenly I'm actually in like... I'm like a week away from getting into the Eternal Emperor event, so we might end up just grabbing Eternal Emperor before going back into Horde mode. How old is your account? I started playing... like right before the point in time where Palpatine got his root. It was like right after JZR came out, is how I remember it. Would it be BB and JC to set a Relic A Kenobi? I don't... I want to range... I just want to like try it. I know we have one in the Shard. I think I've beaten it, but I think I've also had some fight outcomes that definitely felt like weird or different or less than great. It's probably Barbaro. Why am I looking at this? It is. I don't know, I'm just so used to, like, Negotiator always AoE at first anyway, right? So I don't know that really changes much. Maybe the bomb or the ultimate ends up feeling a lot worse. Could entirely be true. Low ones versus Ari Kenobi can definitely lose. I know I've dropped a match or two to Bobero, just kind of doing the old turn order. But like, because my ships are so minimalist, I kind of have to... There's a separate turn order that I use for every single matchup, or like for every single fleet style. So like this, I mean, these are kind of always autopilot, right? And like these play very differently. I think I'll probably need to like try to rethink the like a Kenobi matchup, figure that out from there. Yeah, it can definitely. Nice progress. Yeah. Did you know, of course, spending money helps, but also just try to get competitive as early as possible. Although the one thing I'm really sad about with my timing on everything is I got really aggressive about guild hunting right after that point in time where Heroic Sith Raid no longer was just spamming Gear 12, full Gear 12 like crazy, from what I heard. So I missed out on that entire phase of the game. And let me tell you, the one thing that I'm struggling to keep up with other people right now on is that stuff. Not even necessarily, like, don't get me wrong, right side pieces are a pain. Like, this is me hoarding, and I have like 200 of them. You know, it depends on what I'm farming. I haven't been farming furnaces that hard. Like this stuff. We're not sitting on a whole lot. I mean, we got this from Rancor. Yeah. Bayonets, we got one full one from Heroic Sith Raid we've been able to camp on. I really regret missing that point in time, because I haven't been playing for as long as, you know, other people at my level. So I'm just behind on just the usual bank stuff you would accrue over time. And then I missed on the extra burst that everyone got at the end. So, like, these are like this is the result of me going, like, find them on site pretty much everywhere. GET store, shard shop, and also farming them in fleet nodes. And, like, it's rough. I'm kind of grateful that I was able to grab the med packs that I needed from raids and whatnot. Wait, were the full Gear 12 pieces actually guaranteed? Was it like that consistent? That's insane, if that's true. There's no way. Man, I'm happy for y'all that y'all got to live that, because that sounds insane, but just salty I missed on it. Even like, I mean, okay, I'm not gonna, you know, pretend. These, they're just such low demands. I could like have chucked these on them and I wouldn't miss it. Pretty much same for these. I mean, that's just true for everyone for the most part, right? Like anything else, everything else. Dude, like imagine having that extra bank and then just being able to go into Scavenger tier 6 and not like... Obviously, you probably would have spent them over time. You wouldn't really have had them left. But... even just those special rings. The special rings would have been so nice. Man. That's wild. Not guaranteed, but much more coming. Even still. A full right side and left side pieces. Okay. I can't even complain because I got really, really good. Man, there's no real, like, scientific way to say this. Is there? Like, the gear pulls should just be the same. It would be the odds that fit what I'm saying. It feels to me. So I started off the Challenge Rancor raid up here, like top 5. Not necessarily first place, but like pretty consistent, like 3, 4, 5. Made a mistake, you know, did relegate Vader right before the whole like Kylo huge strategy came in. Other people got the relegate Kylo, and I kind of just fell behind. But it was also kind of just down to do so because to some degree, aside from this stuff, right? If you're top 5, if you're top 10, you're here for this stuff. But everywhere else, I feel like the rewards were way more relevant. I have gotten almost every challenge rancor that I've gotten that was 26 to 50, or like 26 to 40, I guess technically, has been sick. Hang on, let me see. This is the problem with this screen share method is the program for looking at the pictures. Kinda just sucks horribly. There we go. Right. This was last night. Like, look, I know, like, you can hit full Kyro at the top and you're already kind of outscaling 2 of my reward slots. But, like, this is for phoning it in. And, like, I did a Bray... I think I missed Ray. I think all I did was like a Luke phase 3 fight. Hard to compare now to that. Yeah. And honestly, like, as a GET source, it's really not that bad. The Heroic Sith raid. Like, it ended up factoring a lot in, like, my Malik speed, farming speed. I did not have any GET left available for him. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, Challenge Rancor, don't get me wrong, the thing I'm concerned about right now, I do think I need to start going for top 10 at least again, because, hey, I got Relegate Kylo last night, so I can do that again. But also, if we're worried about late March or, like, first week of April being new GL time, I need to be able to hit at least 1. I would prefer to be on 2 banked mats for Relegate. Be prepared for what CG is probably going to be doing. We don't have a guarantee on that, but I don't think that's a unreasonable assumption, right? But yeah, anyway, the place that I was going with that is I feel like top 5, top 10, like the rewards are flattened, but I feel like for the most part, you are kind of like chilling up here in these top 2 rows. And like kind of, like it was a lot of gold stuff. And don't get me wrong, if you pick up a wrist ring, you're just like stoked. I feel like I got like some of these. Obviously, it was a sample size of like 4, so that's possibly I just got really crappy rewards. But I feel like most of the low rank rewards tend to be flattened around like this zone. I mean, you can include down here. So like, don't be wrong. Sometimes you just hit this or this. Or this or whatever. But it feels like I'm just seeing carbs, stun guns, like bottleneck salvage that I still need a lot of. I feel like I'm seeing that a lot more. This isn't like an endorsement of like, hey, you should start throwing your Rancor pit raid scores. But it's just something that I noticed. Is like it does actually feel kind of pertinent sometimes. Like it feels like it has been more relevant rewards to me sometimes. That being said, though, for the position I'm in, coincidentally, I farmed up the bottleneck. I was way on top of that, and now I'm just waiting on Gear 12 and Gear 12 Plus. So maybe I'm the fool, because it's a lot harder to farm this stuff than this stuff. What do I think of? Oh yeah, I need to get back to that. Sorry about that. Got a little bit derailed. I think it's JKR Gas Jolie versus JML Lead GK and GMY. Not amazing. Alright, so let's break this down actually. So starts off with Flux. You're JKR lead, so you have the tenacity, so you're not getting ability blocks, but they are getting crit immunity. So this means that immediately Gas is already losing cooldown increased value. So at that point, you're kind of looking more for brute force damage. And on top of that, we have the fact that JML lead isn't immediately, but is very quickly going to start spiking out a lot of true damage. And unless your Jolie is sick, I would be concerned about Jolie just potentially getting chunked out. Would be my concern. Could be a matter of who they target. I agree, but even if you just break it down, right? So the fact that they have GK, even once the Flux crit immunity fades off, which I want to go check how long the exact duration is. 2 or 3? 1. Interesting. Okay, so a little bit short. But even then, right, like, it's gone in 1 turn, so let's say they have it for like 30 or 40% turn meter, but you're probably going before they are. Well, maybe that's not even true. You'll be going before GK. GK will have it. I would assume that the Grandmaster Yoda lose pretty much immediately. It depends on if it's a speed GMI or a damage GMI. But anyway, point being, right? So even if there are small windows where you can crit them, those windows are going to close again immediately. And so this means that you're going to need to, like, batter down, like, race down, technically, JML lead. Or, like, go for the mark on GMY. Well, wait. I am discounting the buff immediately here, actually. I might be back on board though. It would depend to me on how Grandmaster Yoda is modded. Maybe even to some degree it might depend on how JML is modded too, if he's damage modded or not. But I think I could see myself being back on board. Because GMI has a really, really small protection pool, right? Even if you go like double protection primary, for example. Like, I don't know, just toss on whatever, don't worry about it. Yeah, that's with the 2 primary commitment. You're not working with a whole lot there. So, I mean, this scaling doesn't really hit that hard. You could conceivably just be able to brute force down GMI. I still think Jedi Lessons is gonna suck, but as long as you could, like, okay, what's the context for this? Is this like a you need to use that team to clear his team and you're good? Or like, you won't win if you can't do it? The other thing we would need to establish really quickly is, does Grandmaster Yoda go first or does JKR? If JKR goes first, I kind of hate it. Because Grandmaster Yoda, well, I mean, he doesn't get as much turn meter in 3v3, but that mark is going to end super quickly. Right, it's going to be 55% basically. You just wanted to test it out. I think the answer is a conditional yes. I think as long as you can close out GMI fairly quickly, which means I think you let GMI go first, grab the mark on him, his crit immunity would be gone, and then you just need gas to batarang ram him very, very quickly. Actually, no, I hate it. I take it back. This is kind of screwed either way, because if he goes first, he's just going to battle meditate and turn that 1-turn crit immunity into a 3-turn most likely. if you go first, unless you had like a really nice fast gas or something that could compete, then he's gonna be stuck in that weird spot as well, where you maybe get one turn in like this, like, you know, 45% Terminator gap, where the Battle Mathematician hasn't quite gotten him to Master Stroke yet. Wait, does GMI do Master Stroke first? I'm blanking. For the sandbox. Pretty positive I clicked that. If he does Master Stroke, then it's workable. Yeah, it's Battle Mathematician first. That's what I thought. Yeah, I think it's a no-go. He's gonna take that one turn, crit immediately, and turn it into 3. Isn't it a hard target to get target gas first? I don't know if it's hard priority, but it seems like it's about like 80%. At the very least, it's possible that sometimes it's just another AI calling them to assist. For the most part, yes, they are almost always focusing gas. But also, so like, let's play it out, right? Let's assume that they're always focusing gas. You're gonna have a really hard time getting, no, get me off of the phone. You're gonna have a really hard time getting Jolie back to a second rip, right? So even if they brute force gas down once and Jolie brings him back, you're still, it's gonna take you a lot longer to get that Jolie cooldown back, even if, say, you have like a Revan Mass Assist plus swap available to like cycle him quickly. That's still 3 turns at best, which is gonna be a lot longer than it takes for them to discard you, is what I would say. JKR goes first in the buff immunity lands. Can he still share buffs? No. He can't, but then you're in this weird spot where you don't have much time to work with before the mark is gone. It's this really weird catch-22 almost. They replace the first Jolie. Yeah. Yeah. Who was the third? DK. I guess the other bright side that you could say it too is if the mark expires before you can kill GMI, which I think is probable. And I guess you can at least work on GK. You don't necessarily get stuck on JML for a while. Can the cooldown increase on mark be resisted? I don't remember. Can't be resisted. Okay, so if JKR goes first, gets the mark off. GMY does basic. We'll get 40%. No foresight. Presumably has no health at that point. Well, but the conditional. Maybe it's fine. Okay, so if he does basic first, then that means that the AI is still going to want to do Battle Meditation again next. And should still have buff immunity on him before the turn ends. So you get 60% plus 45%, so you have like 105% Terminator worth of gap. So you could even JK swap back to gas a second time. There's moving parts there. The fact that the cooldown increase is guaranteed. As long as you go first, it does buy you some time, I think. Basic, 40%. Battle Meditate. He won't, you're correct, he won't spread buffs. I mean, he couldn't spread buffs, but like the buff immunity does stop him from like reprinting them on himself to give out. I still think it's mostly going to come down to the issue of this part. I haven't really talked about this. Is also partially my concern. Like, Gas is gonna have to chew through. I mean, the buffs. Okay, the buffs can be prevented. You're still contesting the unique side of things where Yoda's gonna get back another 50% health and protection once you get him low. Also will depend on a lot of things. Yeah. Again, maybe I'm overcomplicating things, but I think it's just a little bit too weird sometimes. The biggest concern that I have is what happens after the mark ends on Yoda if you can't close him out immediately. And so, like, even though this protection isn't actually that much for Yoda there, it could stall out long enough that you can't actually get the kill on Yoda and then win. That's at least how I'm approaching the fight, 100%. That's my take on it. Is like, I assume, this could be wrong, but I assume that if Yoda isn't dead by the time that the mark ends, then it's probably over. That buffs GMI drops like a rocket. Keep in mind that he's gonna have crit immunity on the JKR Mass Assist. Like JKR, Jolie not gonna be making a lot of damage. Yes, you know, he's got the armor ignore. We'll still do alright. But like, I wouldn't even be surprised if GMI had like 5 to 10% protection left after the mass. Just with all the factors involved, right? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you do decide to try it, by all means, would love to hear the outcome. It sounds kind of exciting. I wouldn't want to test it in GAC. Buff immunity for lanes first and no crit immunity. No, Flix, you're forgetting Flix. If the turner is their JML, then you're JKR, then they're Yoda. Then he's gonna have crit immunity when JKR does the mass assists. Then he'll basic, lose it, and then you play it out. And Gas goes and go for the kill. Probably Gas AoE into kick, and hopefully you could get a JKR. No, Yoda's second turn should be before JKR's turn. Yeah, GK, not really a factor. JKR's mark is going to bypass GK's ability to help here for the most part. GK is kind of just a dead slot. Is there any aspect of anything? Is there any way that GK or that Yoda would have a buff on him? Not really, right? After he does basic, if GK goes after and does like a mass assist, Yoda should be buffless. Because if he's not, then GK would give him Terminator. It should be a little bit spooky. Let's see around his death. That was good. I'm curious. It's kind of a dynamic matchup. I could see it going either way, and I could also see it being mod dependent, which is cool. I like matchups like that. Maybe you don't necessarily like being in a situation where I'm locked into mods that wouldn't be optimized that GAC week for it, but it's interesting. Amazing how powerful JKR still is after almost 3 years. Amazing how CG feels like DR is problematic. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying this as in like advocating for JKR to get nerfed too. It's just like, what's wrong with the Revens being how they are? Like, they've stayed relevant after this long, and that's Sick. Down to 60. Unlucky. But yeah, just like, what's wrong with them? What's wrong with them? Like, why do they feel the need to tweak Darth Revan so much lately? They're both good at what they're good at. They're both unique. It's fine. They're fine. If anything, the fact that his lead right? You would think that if CG was gonna act on a character that was named Revan as like, they're still a little bit too evergreen, they're still a little bit too solid, maybe we need to tune them. I would assume it wouldn't be Darth Revan. Jake and DR should be left on. I agree. I don't think they need to change this. I hope CG decides to revert the Bastila thing at some point. The game has been in a fine spot. I feel like that was almost like... I feel like they realized it just wasn't working as intended and just did it because they knew that they could, without as much consideration for the impact on the balance. It was a really weird thing to me. I have no position to make that statement. I have no inside info or anything. That's just... I can't imagine someone on the balance team or someone in charge of design being like, that Bastila, she's out of control. That or it's just like motivated from the raid, but again, I'm still going to maintain that if their motivation was targeting raid performance for like some Vader setup, getting chip damage, just do the raid boss thing. They've been doing it already lately, so we know that the method is on their minds. Like, let's do a thing like this. Right? Drop down past 30. No? Although the answer actually kind of should be yes. Oh, wait, no, it's not. First and before me uses Sense Eternal Emperor, so I've been swapping to SLK just for easy finishing climbs. And that definitely drops to like 40s. I mean, with the modding that I have on, it's not... This team can drop fairly regularly if I don't give them the good stuff. I mean, this is just going to be how shards kind of are now, right? As more people get Galactic Legends, you're going to see a lot more of this. It's a problem that's going to be facing this game at some point, but we're not quite there yet. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people in the near future who can start climbing. The same has actually started happening to me in my fleet shard with GET2 ships, and just more people getting capital ships. Let's see. In top 20, this is a new name, this is a new name, this is a new name, the new name. I think this is a new name. Like, people are suddenly, you know, getting far enough in LSTB to have these capital ships. I had a scare a couple of weeks ago where I thought that they might share my payout. And eventually, like, of course, like, piece together that, like, now they're the hour before. But there's just going to be shard turmoil. And considering that this is our entire crystal source, right, the meta is no longer violently shifting. It's more just like, once you have a Galactic Legend, you can kind of get where you need to be. This is where I expect you to drop the most. I haven't touched anything. Sitting at 14. One might say that part of the reason why I'm able to be so passive on ships is because my arena shard isn't that active. I'd probably be a lot more salty if I was cratering to like 40-50. I mean, not even salty, I know I said that. I would probably be more motivated to improve them if I had something to fight for. But like, I get 21 banners in Territorial Wars. I don't fall in Fleet Arena. So there, the thing that got me to start working on ships a little bit was honestly just Blade's Raddus team. Of all things, right? Look, any defensive theory crafting will always get my attention. That's the thing. If you ever wanna rope me in, it will always have a year for that. But yeah, here I am, trying to focus all my ship credits and get them together so I can slam Raddus 85 and give this a shot. Which means also picking up Y-Wing so I can free up Houndstooth. Which also probably means I need to pick up Rex. That might not even be true. I think we could probably get away with this plus 5's ETA for the opener. There's one person in my chart that used that, and I assume it works just fine. 15 is Rebels and 5-star Negotiator. We're not quite that young. I swear it's like clockwork. Alright, I'm gonna make a playlist for next time that's just this album. It's time to stop. I've had enough. But yeah, I don't know. The problem is, when I started gearing Kylo, we got the news. I am not kidding you when I say this. We got the news that Jedi Master Luke and Sith Eternal Emperor were coming like 12 hours later. So who knows? Maybe the real takeaway here. What day is it today? I honestly don't even remember. Time is a flat circle. Okay, it's Friday. So maybe this works out because I probably need a week to get the remaining gear that I need. And then I can commit to getting into Eternal Emperor's event on the weekend so that if I commit, I can't get burned up on a following announcement for at least 3 or 4 days, so I have like a half a week of joy. I'm like, I'm doing it. And then I can get decapped. Like, hey, here's the news. Surprise. You blew everything on Darth Maul, you idiot. Like, this is the thing. Hey, there's a lot of characters I'm missing that make Eternal Emperor a lot more expensive for me to get than other people. And like, none of these characters, like maybe okay Dooku, yeah, you Nute Dooku in Grand Arena, that's kind of cute. It tends to be Geo fodder or whatever. But like, this is like the only character I can feel remotely okay about, and then it's like an excuse to finish Veers. That's like the only 2 positive things that I have to say, and then it's like, okay, then you pick up Palpatine. I mean, is this a weird double standard though? Am I just salty at old bad characters? I mean, 1, 2, 3, kind of 4 or 5. I'm sorry, Clash. The vets are whatever. Aside from that Geo thing, the Geo thing is neat. I feel like you mentioned that even had chances to fail. Maybe this is a weird double standard. If we assume that like solid investment, happy to do it, and then it's like this is fine, then maybe it balances out to being roughly the same as like a Rey event. We already did everything doing. This is just the filler left. Yeah. Just hoard until the new requirements come out. That was the original plan. We're 2 months out. We're basically 8 to 9 weeks when I expect the next event could be coming. And just based on the gap between Rey and Kylo versus Luke and Emperor. Where I clicked an OG Finn. Wait, did I? I thought I clicked on Poe. I was saying worthless characters. I did. Maybe a misclick. Yeah, no. Finn I'm fine with. Honestly, I still think people are kind of sleeping on the lead. Right? Like, straight up, if we had any other Resistance lead today, I'm kidding. I'm not. I like, people refunded this Zeta. I think I was like one of the first people around our GP bracket. I was just like, I'm taking this back. Maybe. You could argue, like, most of the time that I use this is in 3v3, and we're really not activating it that much. So maybe the Zeta ended up being kind of dead weight anyway. Hey, whatever, man. It got me a second hold the line today. It got me some extra health and protection back. I'll still stand the lead. 60% offense and defense, here for it. And opponency is fine too. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe just being dumb about this. This is my first 2 Zetas. I was sad because, man, I like Husky Patrol was my first big guild that I got into, and those people love their PvE like nothing else. So I was still like a pretty young account at the time. Like there was no way I was gonna have like a Zeta Finn or anything like that. And I think I actually missed the train on 7-star C3PO the first time around. It was like one of the only legendaries I couldn't quite get ready for in time. So Finn lead Han Chewie rolls around and just demolishes the Heroic Sith raid for like 6 or 7 months straight. I can't even get top 25 anymore. I wouldn't say I was depressed, but like I considered myself to like enjoy raids before that point in time and like try to be competitive in them. It just like completely killed my enthusiasm. I was just getting completely dunked on by this leadership. And like by the time I was like, I honestly, I didn't even get to take this leadership until 2 weeks before it was getting nerfed. And at that point we already knew it was getting nerfed, and I was just like, all right, it's about to get refunded anyway. I'll take my 2 weeks of, you know, have some fun with it. It's like missed out on the best parts of it for so long. Unlucky. I don't know. I think I'm being worried about it. I mean, what's the first order count? And let's say 1, 2. Phasma's better than Darth Maul. Insidious. Just for sure. She like, yes, this button will always be fine. But like, I guess 1, 2, 3. Officer, I'm never talking trash on. First order is fine. I don't know. Whatever. Royal Guard, you can probably make some plug-and-play usage out of. I'm not gonna doubt that. He's not exactly gonna protect your banner interest in the process, but whenever you start losing a fight pretty badly, that or like you have a Piet or a Watt, chuck in there, you can do alright. His defense value is pretty sick too, so you could mod into that pretty easily. Maybe I'm being unfair. Or maybe I'm just salty that I have to do. Got away with not doing Dooku for so long. Alright. I think I've had my fill. I don't know what to expect. I think we're fine. I think he has to drop a battle at minimum. That or this fight is gonna be very, very ugly. I'll be really curious to see what happens. But I guess it's for me to find out. I don't know when he plans to attack, but definitely gonna be using that Prime bot, which you can find in my Discord and many others. Just check it out. Yeah, alright. I think I'm good. I think it's time to get out of here. Thank you for stopping by, everyone. Also, I think I shouted out. Good to see you, Gum. Yeah. This was a fun one. This is a weird one. I hope I didn't chicken out on defense at the wrong time, because I definitely did. I mean, it's hard to say. It would have come down to JK or JKL versus that SLK team, and we're like 66% win rate on that, and I don't like types of percentages for winning and losing. So, we'll see. Maybe it was the right choice, maybe it was the wrong choice. We probably do get cleared today, but I think we probably went on banners, so... Unfortunately, claim to fame of being unclearable probably ends. But hey, that strategy, the original strategy, still has never been cleared. I think that, really, that's what Christmas is all about. Alright, hope you all have a good rest of your evening. And yeah, good luck in your rounds. Peace out.